should local body politicians and bureaucrats travel business class? Should local body politicians in a city with major new projects to pay for, including light rail, for example, a regional fuel tax on the way, and a mayor who pledged to keep rate rises an average of 2.5% by finding cost savings within the council, travel business class? Well, no, says one of them. $500,000 has, however, been spent on 63 return business class flights since the beginning of last year, and that doesn't include all the council's operations. John Watson, who represents the Albany ward on Auckland's North Shore and who's never had a foreign trip as a councillor, said he hadn't registered just how expensive they were until he saw them listed.
Well, we've seen like individual business class flights that are like small fortunes, $10,000, $12,000, $14,000, $18,000 to Asia, to London. So that's the kind of range that they're coming in at, which of course is about 4 to 8 times more expensive than an economy fare of the same destination. So
you've seen one person spending $18,000 to travel to London?
Yes. Yep. There's a printout of all the various places around the world that Auckland Council staff and politicians have been to, and they're very expensive.
And what's your response to that expense? Do you think it's excessive?
Yes, it is, John. I think it's kind of embarrassing, really. This comes out every year. Someone does a information request and it's indefensible. Everyone knows that if you're travelling on your own, there's no way in the world you would be paying that sort of money. So,
for longer than 8 hours, and you're working within 24 hours of your arrival, you get to go business class. Isn't it a good thing, if you are working almost immediately after you land, that you arrive refreshed and ready to go?
Well, my answer to that, John, would be, well, why wouldn't you just go a day earlier then, if that was the case? Spend an extra couple of $100 on a night's accommodation rather than $10,000, $12,000, $16,000 extra just on travelling business class. So that doesn't really wash with me.
Is this going to be debated? Is this something that you can put up for consideration?
Well, we put it up for the meeting today, and it was turned down, which was really disappointing. So we're now in a position where we're going to pursue it in whatever way we can. We know there's kind of widespread public revulsion at this kind of corporate excess, not just with council but with other public institutions. So we've been given an undertaking that there is some sort of review, but to be honest, this has been going on since the inception of the super city. So if they were going to do anything, they would have done it long before now.
John Watson from the Albany ward on Auckland's North Shore. Now, Auckland Council's Chief Executive Stephen Town confirmed that 63 return business class flights have been taken since the start of last year. In a statement, he said he declined the motion John Watson was talking about because the issue is already being investigated, and I quote, as a wider piece of work on expenditure, and a report is due back by March of next year.